Space has always been a powerful source of inspiration, not only for wealthy travelers, but also as a potential battlefield for the military. According to NASA, more than 27,000 pieces of space debris are floating in Earth's orbit, with sizes large enough, over 4 inches, to be tracked by ground-based radars and telescopes. In total, NASA estimates there are about 100 million smaller pieces of debris, ranging from 0.04 inches to 0.4 inches, traveling at speeds of up to 17,500 miles per hour, which is enough to cause serious damage to satellites or spacecraft. These debris pieces mainly come from explosions of old rockets, abandoned satellites, and anti-satellite weapon tests, such as China's test in 2007. NASA and the US Department of Defense maintain an ongoing tracking catalog known as the Space Surveillance Network to predict collision risks and protect space assets worth billions of dollars. A quiet yet intense race is unfolding among major powers like the United States, Russia, and China, as all are tirelessly striving to assert ultimate dominance in space. A report from the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, in 2023 indicates that the United States has invested over $10 billion in military space technology from 2019 to the present. Recently, there have been rumors that the United States is preparing to unveil a groundbreaking invention, a space-based laser weapon capable of giving them a superior advantage over their adversaries. This technology, developed by Lockheed Martin, can shoot down satellites from hundreds of miles away, ushering in a new era of space warfare. The advent of this weapon could mark a significant milestone in the arsenal of the United States Space Force, and its potential to trigger a revolution in modern warfare is unimaginable. Let's explore how this space-based laser weapon has shocked the entire world. The United States Space Force, USSF, is now an essential part of the US Department of Defense, handling all matters related to space. The US Department of Defense announced that the United States Space Force, USSF, has carried out 6 secret space missions since 2020 using the X-37B, an unmanned spacecraft manufactured by Boeing. This spacecraft is smaller than traditional space shuttles, but is capable of remaining in orbit for years. The longest mission, OTV-6, lasted 908 days from May 2020 to November 2022, breaking the record for continuous operation in space. These missions are believed to test surveillance technology, advanced sensors, and possibly even space weapons, although detailed information remains classified. The X-37B spacecraft is launched by an Atlas V rocket or SpaceX's Falcon Heavy, and lands like an airplane at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. The journey to becoming an independent force of the USSF is truly fascinating. Previously, the US Air Force spent over $3 billion annually on space projects, according to the Defense Budget Overview 2019, in preparation for the establishment of the United States Space Force, USSF. Before its official establishment in December 2019, this force operated under the management of the Space Command, which was part of the United States Air Force from 1982 to 2019. This change, which took place during President Donald Trump's administration, reflected the structure of the Air Force. This is not merely a political move, but also a testament to the increasing importance of space in modern military campaigns. According to the United States Institute of Peace, USIP, space plays a crucial role in 80% of modern military operations, ranging from command and control, C2, to reconnaissance and precision navigation. Satellites provide real-time data for drones, guided missiles like the Tomahawk, and the global communication network of the US military. The 2023 USIP report emphasizes that this dependency makes space the new frontier in modern warfare, with countries like Russia and China developing ASAT anti-satellite weapons to undermine the United States' advantage. For example, Russia's 2021 ASAT test generated over 1,500 pieces of debris, threatening the International Space Station ISS. Although we hope never to witness the practical application of this weapon, in theory, the strategic importance of space is undeniable. However, it is noteworthy that the USSF remains the smallest military branch in the United States, with only about 6,434 personnel and 77 satellites. This number is truly modest compared to the Air Force, which has over 5,000 manned aircraft, 46 intercontinental ballistic missiles, and more than 650,000 military and civilian personnel. Although small, the USSF operates systems worth billions of dollars, including the global GPS network. Imagine the power of such a dynamic force, with the US military budget being an enormous figure that allows them to develop the most advanced technologies. According to a report from Defense News, the estimated funding for the Space Force is up to $2 billion, and this figure could increase to $13 billion by 2024. This figure is projected to increase by $5 billion by 2027 for the development of laser weapons, according to the US Defense Budget Draft released in 2025. The USSF is prioritizing systems like SHIELD, Self-Protect High-Energy Laser Demonstrator, which was tested on F-15 fighter jets in 2023, with the goal of deploying a space-based version by the end of this decade. Laser weapons promise precise attack capabilities at a lower cost than missiles, around $1 per shot, compared to millions of dollars for an interceptor missile, and are designed to counter threats from Chinese and Russian spy satellites. Have you ever wondered if we are witnessing a revolution in the way warfare will be conducted in the future? This will be very important for the future of global military strategies. Please share your thoughts with the audience of the Military Power Channel. Against the backdrop of modern warfare, recruitment in the US Space Force is expected to increase to 15,000 personnel in the near future. The USSF is collaborating with universities like MIT to train space engineers, aiming to recruit an additional 5,000 people by 2030. Clearly, these massive financial investments are being poured into the management and maintenance of various state-of-the-art systems, such as GPS satellites, military communication networks, missile warning systems, as well as space surveillance capabilities and satellite control networks. The American GPS system currently provides data for over 4 billion devices worldwide, ranging from smartphones and civilian aircraft to NATO military warships and tanks. First deployed in 1978, GPS has become the backbone of the global economy, generating an estimated economic value of $1.4 trillion annually for the United States, according to a 2022 study by RTI International. The latest GPS Block 3F satellites, manufactured by Lockheed Martin, provide anti-jamming signals that are 60 times stronger than the older version, ensuring stable operation in electronic warfare environments. Notably, the reusable robotic spacecraft Boeing X-37B, an incredibly impressive technology managed by the Space Force, deserves special mention. According to forecasts, the global space economy is expected to double from the current $450 billion to $1 trillion over the next 2 decades, highlighting the increasing importance of space exploration and commerce. The 2024 report from Morgan Stanley predicts that the satellite industry will reach a value of $1 trillion by 2040, thanks to the boom of projects like SpaceX's Starlink, with over 6,000 satellites launched by 2025, and Amazon Kuiper projected to have 3,236 satellites. The significant reduction in the cost of launching small satellites from $50 million to under $1 million per launch thanks to reusable rockets has spurred private sector involvement. The report also emphasizes the military role, with the USSF expected to deploy an additional 500 small communication satellites by the end of this decade. In March 2020, the Space Force marked a significant milestone with its first official launch, a military communications satellite sent into space using an Atlas V rocket from the United Launch Alliance. This mission, AEHF-6, provides encrypted communications for the US military, with an estimated cost of $1.1 billion. In 2021, the Guardians, an affectionate term for members of the Space Force, successfully carried out their first tactical response launch mission, placing the TACL-2 satellite into low Earth orbit. This mission demonstrates the commitment of US forces to enhance flexibility and responsiveness, not only in deep space, but also at altitudes just a few miles above the Earth's surface. The establishment of the Space Force is seen as a response to the seemingly increasing satellite warfare, particularly in the context of geopolitical competition with China and Russia. Russia conducted an anti-satellite weapon test in 2021, specifically on November 15, 2021, when it destroyed the old satellite Cosmos 1408 with a Nudol missile launched from the ground. The test created over 1,500 trackable pieces of debris and tens of thousands of smaller fragments, forcing the crew on the International Space Station, ISS, to take emergency shelter for 2 hours. The United States and NATO criticized this action as irresponsible, as it increases the risk of collisions in low Earth orbit. Russia has developed the ASAT program since the Soviet era, with systems like Contact and Nudol being tested multiple times since 2015. In 2013, China laid the groundwork for a significant leap in its space capabilities when it launched an experimental satellite named Xi'an, which means experiment. There is no specific information about the nature of the test, but the actions of this satellite suggest something discrete. The Xi'an satellite has been noted for its ability to maneuver close to a smaller satellite and even track it for a period of time. Analysts from the Secure World Foundation believe that Xi'an may be the initial step in China's plan to develop anti-satellite ASAT weapons. Experts at AGY, Analytical Graphics, Inc., have been monitoring the activity of this satellite with extreme astonishment when they discovered that the small satellite seemed to disappear and reappear on their radar. These radar systems are renowned for their reliability, so a malfunction was not the cause. Further investigation revealed an astonishing truth that Xi'an is equipped with grappling arms, which it uses to continuously grab small satellites out of orbit and then return them. According to the 2013 report from Space Review, China's Xi'an satellite represents an advancement in rendezvous and proximity operations technology, allowing it to move close to other satellites with high precision. The report indicates that the Xi'an 15 has conducted numerous unusual maneuvers near US, commercial and military satellites, raising suspicions of potential espionage or sabotage. Space Review also noted that China has heavily invested in its space program since 2000, with an estimated budget of $11 billion in 2013, aiming to compete with the United States in the militarization of space. Anti-satellite weapons, commonly known as ASATs, like Xi'an, are a type of space weapon designed to disable or completely destroy an opponent's satellites, whether for strategic or tactical purposes. China has acknowledged this. The capability is asserted to be solely for research and space debris management purposes. However, the concerning reality is that they are operating a satellite capable of navigating to other satellites and potentially grabbing them from space. Do you think the emergence of the United States Space Force could change the dynamics in space competition? Or is this just a part of a larger game between major powers? Let's discuss with Military Power to learn more about these developments. More than 50% of the 4,852 active satellites as of 2023 belong to the United States, with SpaceX accounting for the majority thanks to the Starlink system. In total, more than 10,000 satellites have been launched since 1957, but only about 4,852 are still operational, with the rest having become space debris. SpaceTrack, operated by the United States Space Force, USSF, monitors over 47,000 objects in orbit, including satellites, debris, and old rockets. It provides public data to prevent collisions and support space traffic management. In the past, military concerns primarily revolved around satellite constellations in orbit, but modern developments have taken this field much further, with thousands or even millions of critical elements related to the civil infrastructure of advanced nations. RTI International 2022 indicates that the US GPS system generates $1.4 trillion in revenue annually for the global economy. Especially, devices such as communication satellites and the Global Positioning System (GPS) serve as the foundation for navigation in our modern devices, as well as meteorological services. These entities, although seemingly harmless, possess dual-use capabilities and can be exploited for intelligence purposes. Do you recognize their importance? This opposition has not gone unnoticed by advanced military powers. Therefore, it is imperative for these nations to confront the potentially dangerous elements in their adversaries' arsenals. This awareness has driven the development of anti-satellite (ASAT) systems. India joined this group in 2019 with the Mission Shakti test, when it shot down the Microsat-R satellite at an altitude of 176 miles using the PDV-MKE Second missile on March 27, 2019. This is the first time India has demonstrated ASAT capabilities, joining the group that includes the United States, Russia, and China. The test created approximately 400 pieces of debris, sparking controversy due to the risk it poses to other satellites in low Earth orbit. The Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO) of India stated that this technology is intended to protect India's space assets from threats posed by China and Pakistan. Although anti-satellite weapons have never been used in actual combat, several prominent countries such as the United States, China, India, and Russia have demonstrated their capabilities by successfully intercepting and destroying their own satellites. This action not only demonstrates technological strength, but also emphasizes their readiness to protect their interests in the ever-evolving space arena. Interestingly, the diverse features of ASAT systems allow them to perform multiple roles simultaneously. ASAT can be used to disrupt military satellite systems, interrupt communications, reconnaissance, and navigation of the adversary in modern warfare. The 2021 RAND report emphasizes that ASAT weapons, such as interceptor missiles or ground-based lasers, can attack satellites in low Earth orbit (LEO) and medium Earth orbit (MEO), where most military assets are concentrated. They are not only defensive measures against threats from space and nuclear threats from adversaries, but they can also serve as force multipliers for measures against initial nuclear attacks, countermeasures against enemy missile defense systems, and asymmetric responses to deal with technologically superior opponents. Going back to the early 2000s, a major debate erupted when the US Space Security Commission acted under the mandate of Congress. This discussion revolves around the role of anti-satellite systems in the complex relationship between the United States and China. The committee has expressed concerns about China preparing for a large-scale attack on US satellites, dubbing this strategy as Space Pearl Harbor. They assert that this strategy can be seen as a form of asymmetric warfare, allowing China, despite being militarily weaker, to gain a decisive advantage over the United States. The 2001 Rumsfeld Space Commission report warned that the United States could lose its space superiority if it did not act quickly. The United States' sense of tension increased further after China successfully tested another powerful anti-satellite weapon in January 2007, when China's FY-1C weather satellite, operating at an altitude of 537 miles, was intercepted. This test created over 3,000 pieces of space debris when China shot down the Fengyun-1C weather satellite with an SC-19 missile on January 11, 2007, at an altitude of 537 miles. This is the largest space debris creation event in history, increasing the number of fragments in low Earth orbit by 25%, according to NASA. Debris fragments travel at a speed of 17,400 miles per hour, threatening the ISS and commercial satellites like Iridium, forcing the United States and its allies to adjust orbits multiple times to avoid collisions in the following years. Do you think this development will change the landscape of space security in the future? The target was shot down by a ballistic missile known in the US military as the SC-19, carrying a kinetic warhead. In essence, this is an upgraded version of the DF-21 or CS-5.3, a type of medium-range ballistic missile, two-stage using solid fuel. DF-21, or Dongfeng-21, has a range of up to 1,550 miles. It is China's anti-ship ballistic missile, first deployed in 1991 and upgraded to the DF-21D version in 2010. With a speed of Mach 10 and the ability to carry either nuclear or conventional warheads, the DF-21D is dubbed the Carrier Killer, targeting American naval groups in the Pacific Ocean. According to the US Department of Defense, China tested the DF-21D on moving targets in the South China Sea in 2020, demonstrating its capability for precise land-based strikes. The FY-1C missile, part of China's Fang Yun satellite series, was first launched in 1999. Meanwhile, Russia also kept pace by introducing its kamikaze satellite, officially known as Cosmos 2499, in 2014. Cosmos 2499 was launched by a Rokot rocket and has the capability to change its orbit 5 times. This satellite demonstrates exceptional maneuverability, allowing it to approach and neutralize or destroy other satellites. Interestingly, the United States initially tracked it as a piece of space debris, but then it unexpectedly came back to life and moved astonishingly close to other satellites. With speeds reaching up to 17,500 miles per hour, the maneuverability of the kamikaze suggests a clear intent. In 2017, Russia advanced its satellite capabilities further by launching another satellite capable of deploying smaller satellites. This mission, Cosmos 2519, launched a small inspection satellite on June 23, 2017, from Plesetsk using a Soyuz 2.1V rocket. After entering orbit, Cosmos 2519 released a smaller sub-satellite known as an inspector satellite, which has the capability to move independently and approach other objects. Russia claims this is a satellite inspection test, but the United States is concerned it could be used for spying or sabotaging adversary satellites. This event is part of a series of tests since 2014 aimed at developing military space technology. The satellite has launched an object, indicating potential military capabilities. Such actions clearly make the United States uneasy and no longer willing to remain a mere spectator. 2 years later, in 2019, Russia unveiled the Nesting Doll satellite, the culmination of previous efforts. This new satellite has the sophisticated capability to approach other satellites in orbit, conduct surveillance, deploy smaller satellites, and then launch a project. On one occasion, the Nesting Doll satellite approached an American satellite, leading to official complaints from Russia. This event occurred in January 2020, when Cosmos 2542 approached the USA 245 satellite. It's no surprise that the United States Space Force was established at the end of that year. The United States is heavily reliant on satellites for various critical functions. As of now, they have up to 1,897 operational satellites, while China follows with 412 and Russia with 176. These satellites are essential for monitoring threats, assisting in navigation on land, in the air, and at sea, surveillance, communication, missile detection, and guidance, along with many other critical tasks. Ironically, despite their immense importance, they float in space relatively unprotected. According to CSIS, 90% of US military satellites lack active defense systems against threats such as ASAT weapons, lasers, or electronic attacks, as stated in the 2023 report. The United States possesses over 160 military satellites, primarily serving reconnaissance, communication, and early warning purposes. However, they were designed during a time when space faced fewer threats, lacking maneuverability or protective armor. CSIS recommends that the USSF invest in smaller, cheaper, and more distributed satellites to mitigate risks from threats posed by Russia and China. Aware of this vulnerability, the Pentagon requested $304 million in the 2020 budget to strengthen space weapon initiatives. Since then, a series of tests have been conducted, primarily focusing on directed energy weapons such as neutral particle beams and lasers. The United States has had projects on directed energy weapons for decades, but recent developments have accelerated the pace and scale of these programs. Do you see how the threat from military satellites is increasingly growing? Can the United States maintain control in space in the face of its adversaries' advancements? Don't forget to share your thoughts on this new threat and America's strategy in responding to it. Recently, the US military conducted its first operational laser test in the Persian Gulf, and it was a resounding success. This experiment, conducted in December 2022, involved the US Navy's Laser Weapon System, LAWS, and was carried out on the USS Ponce in the Persian Gulf. A 30-kilowatt laser shot down a drone in just 2 seconds, demonstrating its ability to eliminate small targets at a low cost. This is the first time the LAWS has been tested in combat, with the US Navy investing approximately $40 million in the project since 2014, aiming to integrate lasers onto destroyers such as the Arleigh Burke class by the late 2020s. Laser beams, traveling at the speed of light, have destroyed targets both on the ground and in the air. Currently, numerous tests are being conducted to perfect laser weapons capable of disabling or destroying satellites, whether from the ground or mounted on fighter jets. The Air Force's High-Energy Self-Protection Laser program, with a budget of $155 million, includes 3 main components: laser enhancements for the next-generation combat environment, Lance, the self-protection laser control system, and the Laser Pod development container developed by Boeing. The US military is highly focused on selecting the most cost-effective yet efficient components. The Lance system is expected to reduce the cost per shot to under $1, compared to the millions of dollars for an interceptor missile, according to the US Air Force. Developed by the Air Force Research Laboratory, AFRL, since 2019, Lance uses a 50-kilowatt fiber laser powerful enough to destroy missiles or drones. The 2023 test at White Sands demonstrated that it could operate continuously for 5 minutes, with the goal of deployment on fighter jets by 2027. It is no surprise that the military is exploring this field of weaponry, because lasers have many outstanding advantages that make them appealing in warfare. The speed of light, extremely high precision, and low cost per shot, with an almost unlimited ammunition supply, are significant advantages. One of the most promising initiatives in airborne laser weaponry is the High-Energy Self-Protection Laser Demonstrator. Currently, it is still a bulky experimental device on the ground, but the US Air Force has ambitious plans to miniaturize it into a pod mounted on an F-15 aircraft, with the ultimate goal of integrating it into F-16 and F-35 fighter jets. If these airborne lasers prove to be as effective as expected, the future of aerial warfare could be changed forever. The laser on the F-15 is the Shield system, which was successfully tested in 2023 at Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. Shield, weighing approximately 1,320 pounds, was mounted on the body of an F-15E Strike Eagle aircraft and shot down a simulated missile in 3 seconds. Lockheed Martin, the primary contractor, stated that this 20-kilowatt laser could be scaled up to 100 kilowatts in the future, with a development cost of approximately $300 million since 2017, aimed at protecting aircraft against surface-to-air missiles. The high-energy self-defense laser is designed as an active protection system, intended to destroy or disperse incoming air-to-air and surface-to-air missiles, particularly against long-range missiles such as Russia's 48N6 surface-to-air missile or the R-37 air-to-air missile. These types pose a serious threat to vulnerable radar and refueling aircraft from a distance of over 650 feet. The 48N6 system has a speed of Mach 6, making evasion by conventional means nearly impossible. As 4th and 5th generation fighter jets become more detectable on radar at shorter distances, the ability to evade more maneuverable short-range missiles is very low, only about 20 to 30%. Here, laser becomes a viable solution. Even a relatively weak laser beam can theoretically disrupt or destroy the sensitive optical guidance systems of incoming missiles with precision. stronger lasers can damage missile control systems or activate warheads through heat. As of June 29, 2023, we have reached another significant milestone in realizing this laser weapon technology. The experiment at White Sands in June 2023 used the Lance laser to destroy a simulated missile at an altitude of 6.2 miles in 4 seconds. White Sands Missile Range, New Mexico, is the largest testing site of the US military, covering an area of over 3,200 square miles. It was once used for testing the Trinity nuclear bomb in 1945. This experiment, conducted by AFRL and Lockheed Martin, cost $25 million and marks a significant advancement in the development of directed energy weapons for the USSF and the US Air Force. Let's discuss. Do you think laser weapons will change the way wars are conducted in the future? Please share your thoughts with us. In today's era of space technology, we are witnessing significant advancements from the US Naval Research Laboratory (NRL) with their wireless energy laser experiment in space, commonly known as SWELL. SWELL uses a 980 nanometer infrared laser to wirelessly transmit energy from satellites to Earth, developed by the US Naval Research Laboratory (NRL). The 2022 test in low Earth orbit achieved a power output of 1 kilowatt over a distance of about 0.6 miles, with an energy conversion efficiency of 60%. This project, which began in 2018 with a budget of $15 million, aims to provide power to remote military bases without the need for traditional power lines. Reaching the milestone of 100 successful days of operation, SWELL not only celebrates an impressive journey that began on March 14, 2023, but also marks a historic breakthrough in the field of laser energy transmission in the vast universe. Can you imagine it? SWELL has found its place on the International Space Station as part of the US Department of Defense's Space Experiment Program. Continuously transmitting about 1.5 watts of power from the energy receiver, SWELL demonstrates excellent performance with an estimated operational efficiency of around 11%. This surpasses previous experiments on Earth, where laser power transmission systems only reached a maximum distance of about 1,640 feet, with an efficiency of less than 40% due to atmospheric disturbances. In space, SWELL takes advantage of the vacuum environment to transmit energy more efficiently, unlocking the potential to supply power from solar power satellites in geostationary orbit, GEO, 22,369 miles. The NRL plans to increase its capacity to 10 kilowatts by 2026, with an additional development cost of $50 million. Did you know that this achievement is not just a minor victory, but also exceeds the research team's goal by 3 times? SWELL operates at a distance of approximately 4.76 feet and not only creates a novel experiment in laser power transmission in a vacuum, but also sets a record for the highest efficiency and the longest distance in power transmission operations in orbit. Unfortunately, meanwhile, China is planning to deploy ground-based lasers capable of blocking satellite sensors and even damaging satellite hardware. This is truly a significant leap forward, but are ground-to-space laser weapons powerful enough in the context of the evolving landscape of modern warfare? China's ground-based laser, tested since 2019 in Xinjiang, has the capability to blind satellite sensors or destroy them in low Earth orbit, below 1,243 miles. This system, with an estimated power capacity of 50 to 100 kilowatts, targets American reconnaissance satellites like the KH-11. China has invested approximately $1 billion in its military laser program since 2015, aiming to compete with the United States in space control, according to a 2023 report by the US Department of Defense. Space is currently becoming the main battlefield, necessitating the development of counterspace weapons that we need to prepare for these changes. The satellites are expected to be equipped with defensive and offensive weapons, including stealth capabilities, easy maneuverability, and a distributed architecture for preventive purposes. Imagine a world filled with satellites, reaching up to 1,300 in number. This means that even if a few satellites are damaged, the entire system remains operational. On the other hand, current research is focused on developing satellites equipped with lasers capable of blinding sensors and damaging equipment. DARPA is testing the Blackjack project, which began in 2017, with the goal of deploying a network of 20 to 200 small satellites in low Earth orbit to replace large, vulnerable military satellites. With a budget of $117 million as of 2023, Blackjack uses low-cost commercial satellites, approximately $6 million each, from companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin, providing continuous communication and reconnaissance. The first test in 2024 launched 4 satellites with plans to complete the network by 2028. Even though we have made significant advancements with laser technology on Earth, deploying them in space is not a simple task due to the many factors that are entirely different between these environments. One of the biggest challenges in using laser weapons in space is energy, as lasers require a significant amount of energy to operate. What do you think about this challenge? How can we overcome it to turn space into a battlefield full of potential? When it comes to space weapon technology, we face many significant challenges. A 1 megawatt laser requires at least 5 megawatts of input energy, because the conversion efficiency in modern fiber laser systems is only about 20 to 30%. A 2022 study indicates that military lasers like the US Helios consume up to 10 megawatts to maintain continuous operation for 10 seconds, requiring a large power source such as a nuclear reactor or supercapacitor batteries. This poses a significant challenge for deploying lasers on spacecraft, where solar energy is the primary source. A highly powerful energy source is required to generate the necessary laser beams, but this energy supply is often limited, and transporting heavy equipment into orbit is a complex and costly task. So, is it feasible to maintain a continuous power source for laser weapons in space? In a vacuum, laser beams are not scattered by the atmosphere, allowing energy transmission or targeting with nearly 100% efficiency, compared to only 50 to 70% on Earth due to clouds and dust. This was demonstrated in NASA's 2019 experiment when a laser from the ISS hit a ground target 248 miles away with an error margin of less than 0.4 inches. This advantage makes space lasers a potential weapon, but it also increases the risk of space debris if the target is completely destroyed. Another significant challenge is the ability to transmit laser beams through the vacuum of space. Unlike Earth's atmosphere, which can produce particles and molecules that interact with lasers to create visible beams, space is almost a complete vacuum. This makes the laser beam invisible to the naked eye, making it difficult to aim and track targets accurately. Moreover, over long distances, the laser beam can become dispersed, making it less effective. These satellites move at an astonishing speed, nearly 20,000 miles per hour, making them nearly impossible targets for laser weapons. To achieve effectiveness, the weapon system must be precise and agile in target locking. However, these are not challenges that cannot be overcome. Russia developed the Polyus spacecraft, which is capable of carrying a carbon dioxide laser with a power of 1 megawatt, the most powerful, continuous wave laser currently available. Polyus weighed 80 tons and was test-launched on May 15, 1987, using an Energia rocket from Baikonur, USSR, to test a space-based weapons platform equipped with a 1 megawatt CO2 laser. However, due to a guidance system error, Polyus failed to reach orbit and fell into the Pacific Ocean. The project, which cost approximately 1 billion rubles, equivalent to $1.5 billion at the time, was the Soviet Union's effort to compete with the United States Strategic Defense Initiative, SDI, but it was cancelled following the collapse in 1991. The story of Polyus begins in the 1980s, during the Cold War era. When Ronald Reagan took office, he delivered an inspiring speech emphasizing America's relentless fight against oppressive regimes. In this speech, he announced an ambitious space program aimed at deploying weapons into space. At the heart of this vision is a missile shield that makes the United States invulnerable to intercontinental ballistic missiles from adversaries, and this major project quickly earned the rather unflattering nickname, the Star Wars Initiative. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Berlin Wall, Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev was striving to promote peace on the international stage. Gorbachev proposed the Outer Space Treaty in 1986, which banned weapons of mass destruction in space, but the United States refused to sign it. He encouraged Reagan to reconsider this path, but the American president was not swayed. Ironically, Soviet officials encouraged Reagan to continue the missile program, hoping it would necessitate a similar initiative on their part. Finally, Gorbachev approved an even more ambitious project centered around the Polyus SK spacecraft, ominously dubbed the Red Death Star. This system is designed as a space-based laser system, ready to fire at potential adversaries if a conflict arises. What do you think about the development of weapons in space? Can we truly keep the world safe, or is this just a step toward a new arms race? The capability for warfare in a new dimension is approaching, and the era of Star Wars is looming on the horizon. According to Foreign Policy, global spending on space military activities reached approximately $54 billion in 2023, with the United States accounting for $48 billion, followed by China at $8 billion and Russia at $3 billion. This number has doubled since 2010 due to the increase in military satellite programs and ASAT weapons. Since 2000, the United States has spent over $100 billion to modernize its military space capabilities, including the United States Space Force, USSF, and projects like GPS-3. Meanwhile, China and Russia have focused on anti-satellite technology to challenge American dominance. This concept is no longer simply a space race. It is a revolutionary step toward conquering outer space through remarkable technological achievements. This project presents a distinct appearance compared to the American Star Wars program, with clearer objectives. The Polyus Skiff uniquely maps the Soviet Union's efforts to counter the American missile defense system, utilizing a modern megawatt carbon dioxide laser. This laser can penetrate steel 0.39 inches thick in a matter of seconds. It is part of the CO2 laser system on the Soviet Union's Polyus, with a power output of 1 megawatt. According to declassified documents from Energia, this laser was designed to destroy American satellites in low Earth orbit, with an effective range of approximately 310 miles. Ground test in 1985 showed that it could cut metal at a distance of 328 feet, but the failure of the launch in 1987 ended this ambitious project. As revealed by Soviet space historian Asif Siddiqui, in an interview with Duane Day from Air and Space magazine, the Soviet Union made significant investments in two major research and development projects in the late 1970s and early 1980s. These studies aim to find solutions to counter potential American missile defense concepts. From these efforts, two intriguing concepts have emerged: Skiff, a space-based laser cannon, and a weapon called Cascade, designed to neutralize enemy satellites by launching missiles from another orbital platform. Cascade uses the 17F-19S missile, a Soviet ASAT system developed in the 1980s, designed to launch small satellites carrying explosive warheads to destroy enemy satellites in low Earth orbit. This program, with an estimated cost of 500 million rubles, was tested 5 times from 1986 to 1988, but only succeeded twice due to low accuracy. Cascade was part of the Soviet Union's effort to counter American reconnaissance satellites like the KH-11, but it was cancelled after the Cold War ended. In mid-1984, a major Soviet space corporation, named Energia, proposed to the Kremlin the use of a laser-equipped skiff and the Cascade self-guided missile platform as components of an integrated system. To achieve this, Soviet engineers considered utilizing an existing space station. Initially, they targeted the Salyut station, specifically Salyut 7, to test the space attack capabilities of Cascade and Polyus in the 1980s. Salyut 7, operational from 1982 to 1991, was the Soviet Union's final space station in the Salyut program. It weighed 44,000 pounds and orbited at an altitude of 186 miles. According to declassified Roscosmos documents from 2020, Soviet scientists once considered destroying Salyut 7 to test the effectiveness of ASAT weapons. However, the plan was cancelled due to concerns about space debris and international reactions. They considered integrating a powerful laser from an astrophysics company, but this design was too large and couldn't be attached to the existing rocket. Therefore, they accepted the proposal from Energia and opted to use the more compact laser skiff. This is a stepping stone for the birth of the Polius project, with this name meaning Arctic in Russian, while skiff evokes the Siana people, an ancient warrior tribe from Central Asia. Although this project ultimately failed, its development paved the way for the possibility of using weapons from space to the ground, a concept that sounds quite terrifying. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967, signed on January 27, 1967, at the United Nations, prohibits the placement of weapons of mass destruction in space and restricts the use of space for peaceful purposes. As of 2023, with 111 member countries, the treaty does not prohibit conventional weapons such as lasers or anti-satellite (ASAT) weapons, leading to a legal loophole that the United States, Russia, and China have exploited. This treaty was negotiated in the context of the Cold War, when the United States and the Soviet Union launched over 200 military satellites from 1957 to 1967, raising concerns about the militarization of space. In reality, there are currently no such weapons being researched due to an international treaty prohibiting their deployment, a completely reasonable decision considering the potential consequences that space-based weapons could bring. Thank you for following along. Have you ever wondered what lurks in the sky, beyond the usual commercial flights? There, a secret world exists, a world of ghosts in the atmosphere. They are not UFOs. They are meticulously concealed aircraft, machines designed to spark curiosity and push the boundaries of American aviation technology. Facing north, Edwards Air Force Base stands tall, where the latest war machines are put to the test and pilots are trained. Not far from there, the US Navy base at China Lake quietly develops weapons and electronic systems for the formidable naval forces. But perhaps the most mysterious of all is the Groom Lake area, the epicenter of conspiracy theories about UFOs and extraterrestrials. Rumors of secret activities and advanced technology experiments only add to the strange allure of the Valley of the Deer. Among the rumored secret aircraft, the TR-3A Black Manta has emerged as a symbol of advancement and mystery. Believed to be a supersonic reconnaissance plane, the TR-3A is said to be a collaborative product of the US Air Force and Northrop, the company that created the legendary stealth bomber, the B-2 Spirit. Some reports suggest that this aircraft can reach supersonic speeds and operate at very high altitudes, allowing it to gather intelligence worldwide without being detected. However, what makes the TR-3A truly special is not just its stealth capabilities and speed. Some rumors suggest that this aircraft utilizes a peculiar engine system based on plasma technology and nuclear energy, allowing it to generate a gravity-defying field, reducing weight and increasing speed. Despite numerous rumors and speculations, the existence of the TR-3A Black Manta has yet to be officially confirmed. However, these rumors have heightened public curiosity and interest in the world of secret aircraft. The TR-3A Black Manta, if it truly exists, is said to feature a unique black triangular design covered by a special cloak to render it invisible to radar detection. We have observed similar angular shapes on confirmed ghosts like the B-2 Spirit and F-117 Nighthawk. These shapes are intentionally designed to deflect radar waves, making the aircraft harder to detect. With the TR-3A, the black triangular shape could be the next step, a radical optimization for stealth capabilities. Like the SR-71 Blackbird and the B-2, it likely employs radar-absorbent material, RAM, to swallow radar waves and features a special surface design, making it a true black shadow in the sky. In addition, the TR-3A is equipped with advanced electronic systems that allow it to alter its radar signature, disguising itself as other objects to deceive adversaries. However, What truly makes the TR-3A mysterious are the rumors surrounding its engine system. There are two main theories, each pushing our imagination to its limits. The first hypothesis, based on known aviation technologies, suggests that the TR-3A could achieve supersonic speeds and operate at high altitudes due to significant advancements in conventional engines. The SR-71 Blackbird, despite being developed during the Cold War, has demonstrated that reaching speeds of over Mach 3 and flying at altitudes above 82,000 feet is entirely feasible. To surpass the legendary Blackbird, the TR-3A may need to utilize a ramjet or scramjet engine to reach speeds of Mach 5 to 6 and fly close to the edge of the stratosphere. NASA and DARPA have previously tested scramjets on the X-43A, reaching speeds of Mach 12. If the TR-3A does exist, this technology may have been secretly applied for military purposes. However, the second hypothesis goes further, venturing into the realm of science fiction. Some sources claim that the TR-3A utilizes an engine system based on plasma technology and nuclear energy. This system is said to have the ability to generate a gravity-defying field, reducing the weight of the aircraft and allowing it to move at speeds far beyond anything we have ever known. If this hypothesis is true, the TR-3A Black Manta is not just an aircraft. It represents a leap into the future of aviation technology, a testament to the untapped potential that we have yet to fully explore. One of the most intriguing rumors about the TR-3A Black Manta is its ability to defy gravity. According to those who believe in the existence of this aircraft, the TR-3A can fly without adhering to conventional physical laws, hovering in the air and moving at astonishing speeds. The ability to defy gravity is often understood as a means to neutralize or control gravitational force, allowing it to hover, accelerate suddenly, or change direction without being affected by inertia or air resistance. This goes beyond conventional aviation technology, which relies on aerodynamic lift and thrust from engines. Based on current understanding, overcoming gravity requires a breakthrough in physical theory, such as manipulating gravitational fields or utilizing dark energy. These rumors stem from reports of UFO sightings, where witnesses describe triangular flying objects moving at speeds and with capabilities that no known aircraft can achieve. Some people believe that these objects are actually the TR-3A Black Manta, which is currently being tested and developed in secret. In the early 1990s, many people in Belgium reported seeing a triangular flying object with 4 bright lights in the sky. This object was described as moving with a speed and maneuverability that no known aircraft could match. Some believe that the object was actually the TR-3A Black Manta conducting a test flight. Some people believe in a much more controversial theory, that the TR-3A is the result of efforts to reverse engineer technology from alien spacecraft that have crashed on Earth. This idea, which has deeply embedded itself in popular culture, especially regarding the secrets supposedly hidden at Area 51, suggests that the US government has secretly gained access to advanced alien technology and is attempting to replicate it for military purposes. These rumors often associate the TR-3A with black projects like Aurora, or even the legendary TR-3B variant, a machine believed to use a mercury reactor to create an anti-gravity field, defying all conventional laws of physics. There are even rumors that the TR-3A Black Manta was used in the Gulf War to provide laser targeting for the F-117 Nighthawk bombers, helping them strike their targets with precision. However, it is important to emphasize that all of these rumors have not been officially confirmed. The existence and capabilities of the TR-3A Black Manta remain a mystery. Some experts believe that the TR-3A Black Manta is linked to the development of the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. According to these individuals, the TR-3A was used as a test platform to develop advanced stealth and aerodynamic technologies, which were later integrated into the B-2 Spirit. The B-2 Spirit is one of the most expensive and advanced bombers in the world. This aircraft has stealth capabilities that allow it to penetrate enemy airspace undetected. Additionally, the B-2 Spirit can carry a significant payload of weapons, including nuclear bombs. If the TR-3A Black Manta truly served as a stepping stone for the development of the B-2 Spirit, it highlights the significance of secret aircraft projects in advancing aviation technology. In addition, the TR-3A is rumored to possess many other advanced technologies, including high-powered combat lasers, weather control capabilities, and extraterrestrial technology gathered from UFO events. However, these rumors remain unproven and should be approached with caution. When we switch to the TR-3B, the story becomes more complex and strange. The TR-3B, also known as Astra, is another type of secret aircraft believed to be related to the TR-3A. While the TR-3A is often described as a supersonic reconnaissance aircraft with stealth design, features that, although advanced, can still be speculated upon based on publicly available projects, the TR-3B takes it to a whole new level, possessing capabilities that far exceed any limits we are familiar with. This very difference has led many to speculate that the TR-3B could be an upgraded version, or even a completely mysterious parallel project of the TR-3A, although there is no official documentation to confirm the existence of either. This engine system is said to have the ability to generate a powerful anti-gravity field, allowing the TR-3B to fly at speeds and capabilities that no known aircraft can achieve. Additionally, the TR-3B is rumored to have the ability to maneuver in space. However, it is important to emphasize that the rumors about the TR-3B are even stranger and more unbelievable than those surrounding the TR-3A. The existence and capabilities of the TR-3B have yet to be confirmed and should be approached with caution. Some people believe that the advanced technologies purportedly found in the TR-3A and TR-3B are linked to Operation Paperclip, a secret US program following World War II. As part of Operation Paperclip, the United States recruited thousands of German scientists and engineers, many of whom had worked for the Nazi regime during the war. Operation Paperclip, 1945 to 1959, was an effort by the United States to recruit German scientists, engineers, and technical experts after World War II, including those who had previously worked for the Nazi regime. The most prominent figure was Wernher von Braun, who led the V-2 rocket program, and later became the chief architect of the Apollo program. In total, over 1,600 German experts were brought to the United States, bringing with them knowledge of rockets, jet engines, and other advanced technologies. These scientists brought with them advanced knowledge and technology, helping the United States excel in the arms race against the Soviet Union. For example, the Mi-262 jet engine and the V-2 rocket laid the groundwork for projects such as the X-1 aircraft, which broke the sound barrier, and the US ICBM program. Some people believe that the technologies developed by German scientists during wartime, such as jet engines and rockets, were used to develop the TR-3A and TR-3B. Additionally, the term Wunderwaffe, used by the Nazis to describe their advanced weaponry, is often referenced in discussions about the TR-3A and TR-3B. Some believe that the Wunderwaffe technologies that were not fully developed during the war were further researched and developed by the United States after the war. One of the most recent developments related to the world of secret aircraft is the US Navy submitting a series of strange patents that describe advanced technologies such as gravity wave generators and weapons that manipulate space-time. These patents are associated with Dr. Salvatore Pais, a scientist with an impressive background who has worked for NASA, Northrop Grumman, and the Department of the Navy. The technologies described in these patents are believed to have the potential to revolutionize military technology, providing the United States with a significant advantage over potential adversaries. However, the US Navy's public disclosure of these patents has sparked considerable controversy. Some believe this is a strategy to mislead adversaries, while others think it is a sign that the United States truly possesses these advanced technologies. It is unusual for the US Navy to publicly disclose patents for strange technologies. Typically, military inventions are kept secret to protect national interests. So why did the US Navy decide to make these technologies public? Some people believe that making these patents public is a strategy to mislead the opponent. By revealing advanced technologies, the United States could make the adversary think they have surpassed the US in military technology, thereby causing them to reduce their research and development efforts. In addition, the public disclosure of these patents could also serve as a way to demonstrate the strength of the United States. By showcasing their ownership of advanced technologies, the US can deter potential adversaries and maintain its superpower status. In the world of secret aircraft, one cannot overlook the F-117 Nighthawk, the world's first stealth fighter jet. The F-117 Nighthawk was developed in secrecy during the 1970s and officially entered service in 1983. The F-117 Nighthawk was developed in the 1970s by Lockheed Skunk Works, a division renowned for its black projects such as the U-2 and SR-71. This program, codenamed HAV Blue, was kept completely secret until its official announcement in 1988, despite having been operational since 1983. The development of the F-117 occurred during the Cold War, when the United States needed a strategic advantage to penetrate the dense air defense systems of the Soviet Union. This demonstrates America's capability to undertake highly classified projects with breakthrough technology, a factor that could apply to theories regarding the TR-3A and TR-3B. The F-117 Nighthawk features a unique design, with flat surfaces and sharp angles that enable it to evade radar detection. This aircraft has participated in numerous military conflicts, demonstrating the effectiveness of stealth technology. The F-117 was first used in Operation Just Cause, Panama, 1989, and gained prominence during the Gulf War, 1991. Where it carried out precision strikes on heavily protected targets without being detected. However, the secrecy surrounding the F-117 Nighthawk has led to many rumors and legends. One of the most famous legends is about the F-19, a stealth fighter that does not actually exist. The F-19 emerged from a simple logic. American fighter jets are usually numbered sequentially: F-14, F-15, F-16, F-18. But there is no official F-19. This gap led many to believe that it was skipped over due to a secret project. The F-19 was envisioned as a stealth aircraft with more aerodynamic lines than the F-117, potentially resembling the shape of the B-2 Spirit or modern designs like the F-22 Raptor. This contrasts with the F-117, which sacrificed speed and maneuverability to prioritize stealth. However, the existence of the F-19 has never been confirmed. In 1999, an F-117 Nighthawk was shot down in Serbia during NATO's Allied Force operation. This incident captured the attention of military experts worldwide, particularly in China. After the accident, Chinese officials reached out to the Serbian government to request access to the accident site. China's aim was to collect debris from the F-117 Nighthawk to study the aircraft's stealth technology. Some sources suggest that China has successfully collected several important pieces of debris from the F-117 Nighthawk, and this debris has aided China in developing its own stealth technology. In addition to various types of fighter jets and secret reconnaissance aircraft, there is a stealth unmanned aerial vehicle known as the RQ-170 Sentinel, also referred to by its nickname, Beast of Kandahar. The RQ-170 Sentinel is a stealth drone developed by Lockheed Martin. This drone is used for gathering intelligence in high-risk areas. The RQ-170 features a flying wing design, similar to the B-2 Spirit, which helps reduce its radar cross-section (RCS). Without a vertical tail or protruding surfaces, it optimizes stealth capabilities against radar detection. This drone has participated in many covert missions, including the attack on Osama bin Laden's hideout in Pakistan in 2011. The RQ-170 Sentinel played a crucial role in the operation to eliminate Osama bin Laden in 2011. This drone was used to monitor bin Laden's hideout and provide intelligence to the US Navy SEALs. However, in 2011, an RQ-170 Sentinel was captured by Iran after it violated the country's airspace. Iran claimed that they were able to intercept and bring down the drone using electronic warfare measures. This incident has sparked a diplomatic crisis between the United States and Iran and has raised concerns about the security of stealth drones. In the secretive world of military aviation projects, Bird of Prey has emerged as a fascinating case study. Developed by Boeing in the 1990s, this is not a combat weapon, but rather a test platform aimed at exploring new frontiers in stealth technology and seeking more cost-effective manufacturing methods. Bird of Prey features a distinctive design, breaking away from conventional molds. With a single, gracefully curved wing and a uniquely contoured fuselage, it is optimized to evade radar detection and air defense systems. This unique shape helps minimize radar cross-section, while the curved body acts as a shield, dispersing radar waves and significantly reducing the likelihood of detection. In addition to its exterior shape, the Bird of Prey is equipped with advanced radar-absorbing materials and other stealth technologies, making it a ghost on radar screens. Interestingly, this project has leveraged the power of computer-aided design, CAD, to develop prototypes, allowing Boeing engineers to design, simulate, and test components quickly and efficiently, thereby minimizing production costs and accelerating the development timeline. With a production cost of only about $67 million, the Bird of Prey is one of the cheapest stealth aircraft ever built. This project has demonstrated that it is possible to create a stealth aircraft at a significantly lower cost than existing stealth planes, opening up new opportunities for the development of stealth technology in the future. Aurora is another secret aircraft project, rumored to be a supersonic spy plane capable of reaching speeds of Mach 5 or higher. Aurora is believed to have been developed in the 1980s to replace the SR-71 Blackbird reconnaissance aircraft. However, the existence of Aurora has never been officially confirmed. Rumors about the Aurora project began to surface in the 1980s, a crucial period during the Cold War when the United States was striving to maintain its reconnaissance advantage over the Soviet Union. This coincided with the retirement of the SR-71 Blackbird, a symbol of supersonic reconnaissance capabilities, from active service in 1990, although it briefly returned to service afterward. From a strategic standpoint, the idea of replacing the SR-71 makes complete sense. While the SR-71 is an advanced machine, it has become too expensive to operate and vulnerable to increasingly modern air defense systems. Therefore, if Aurora truly exists, it would represent a logical advancement, an effort to maintain global reconnaissance capabilities without bearing the costs and risks associated with the SR-71. Some people believe that Aurora was developed and deployed in secret, while others think that the project was cancelled due to excessive costs and technical challenges. Despite numerous rumors and speculations, the existence of Aurora has not been officially confirmed. The US government has repeatedly denied the existence of this project, and there is no credible evidence to prove that Aurora has been developed and deployed. However, some people believe there is indirect evidence for the existence of Aurora. For example, several witnesses have reported seeing triangular-shaped aircraft moving at extremely high speeds in the sky, and these aircraft could be Aurora. In addition, some experts believe that technology has advanced to the point where it is possible to create a supersonic aircraft like the Aurora, and that the United States may be secretly developing such a plane. The world of secret aircraft is a realm filled with mystery and intrigue, where advanced technologies and thrilling rumors intertwine. From the legendary TR-3A Black Manta to enigmatic projects like Aurora and stealth drones operating in the shadows, this world has captured the attention of experts, aviation enthusiasts, and the general public alike. Although many details about these secret aircraft remain undisclosed, what we do know is enough to show that aviation technology is advancing at a rapid pace, and the future of the aviation industry holds many surprises. Are you intrigued by these secrets? Do you want to learn more about these amazing aircraft?